Well, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to my virtual campfire. Thanks for joining me today. Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. Today I want to talk with you about what some people believe is the absolute best resource that you can use to find a solution to a problem you may have with your RV, or find out about an RV dealer maybe and prevent you from making a mistake. And you may disagree with this. I want to know, after you watch this video, what you think is your favorite resource. And it's not just saying the internet, Google. I mean, that's a pretty broad statement. But what is your single best resource? So that said, I want to know, type 1 if you are on Facebook. Just type the number 1. 1. Type 2 if you're not on Facebook. There's a reason for this. Type 1 if you are on Facebook. Type 2 if you're not on Facebook. I am the owner of, I guess you can't own them, but I have almost 50 different Facebook groups about camping and RVing. Many of them are state-specific Facebook groups, and that is essentially the resource I want to talk with you about. Not just my groups, but Facebook in general. Again, type 1 if you're on Facebook, type 2 if you're not on Facebook, and it doesn't matter to me which one you are. It's my belief that because of social media, that the world has gone, as I say, to hell in a handbasket in many ways, but in terms of information to make us smarter, we are pretty smart as consumers. And the dealers that I talk to, both those I work with and those that I don't work with, tell me that the consumer today is smarter than ever before. Why is that? I think it is because not just of the internet, but it's places on the internet where you can get great information. So, as you may or may not know, I've got a 24-hour voicemail. I try to answer questions as the wingman, try to guide you towards the right solution, if you will, to your problems, at least steer you away from making big mistakes. And I received a phone call recently. I'm going to play it here in just a second if I can push the right button. That gives an example, I think, of somebody that could probably benefit if they were to join some of these Facebook groups. So let's go ahead right now and watch this.
Hey, it's Carol from Illinois. I went to Camping World, about 70 miles from my home, and I was looking at a Thor Class B van. The young salesman was very enthusiastic and very pleasant, but when I prodded him with questions about things, he really just didn't have the right answers. And he kept trying to talk me into different things than what I told him I needed. So I left. I did not purchase anything. I've heard too many negatives about Camping World in general, and I'm kind of stepping away from getting a Class B van right now. I think the quality isn't there. I think that good technicians aren't there. The service departments are lacking qualified help. I've seen too many YouTube videos showing how things are falling apart on people's vans that they've spent well over $100,000 on. The whole idea is for me to create a way to transport my dog and cat with me and have some good experiences, but I don't need to add more stress and headaches to my life. So therefore, right now, I'm backing away from the whole RV thing. Thanks. I so enjoy your informative videos, and I'm getting a lot of information, good and bad. Have a great day. Thanks.
So Carol from Illinois called, and if you've got a question or a situation, a story you want to share, we've got the telephone number right here on the screen. I'm going to also put it down in the description of the video. Call 24/7. If you got a question, you got a problem with your RV dealer, I might be able to help you. Not a lawyer, and I do this, I'm on a kind of volunteer basis when I can, but I promise to get back in touch with everybody as quickly as possible. All right, so Carol, I want to say this. That I understand about wanting to be stress-free. Many people go into buying an RV and they think that it's going to relieve stress in their life. And I want to address that real quickly. It's both true and not true. All it's going to do is displace the stress. You're going to have new stresses as an RVer. You are. maintenance and unexpected things that you never even thought of when you bought the RV, that's going to amount to some level of stress. So you may say goodbye to some stress. You'll say hello and what the hell is this to other stress. So that's going to happen whenever you buy an RV because there's a learning curve there. I also want to say that many of the videos that you're watching on YouTube, it's not that they're not authentic. It's not. But negative seems to get so much more traction than positive does. They say if you want people to engage, you have to enrage them. That's why the media does it. So a lot of people do these negative videos. I believe that right now, believe it or not, is a good time to buy an RV. Yes, the chain dealers, I think that generally speaking, that the people that work there, their salespeople turn over very quickly as compared with the dealers I work with, mom and pop, smaller type dealers, that those salespeople tend to be there a little bit longer. So their level of knowledge is better. But here's another reason why now is a good time to buy an RV. Things are slow at dealers. They are. They're like before the pandemic type slow. They're okay. Many of these dealers are going to make it through these slow economic times, but it's a good thing. So if you're trying to buy an RV, the salesperson is not going to nearly be as rushed as they were before, and they will most likely invest more time with you, and I think that that's what you're paying for. You want their time, you want their knowledge, but you certainly want to deal with somebody that is smarter than you are, and that goes back to how do you get smart? Consumers today are getting smart by going to the internet. We mentioned Camping World. Carol, Camping World is not the only place that has kind of, greenhorn, tin horn salespeople. But here's an example of one of my Facebook groups, and it's a little screen video I did. If you're watching the video version of the show, just, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're watching the radio, you got to go onto Facebook, and I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. Okay, on the video portion of this show, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. For you folks who are listening on radio, check out Facebook and go over to Washington RV Camping Group. It's one of the many groups the Wingman has on Facebook about camping and RVing. But this one's got 13,200 members in it, very active. And if you post a stupid question, or if you post even a simple, honest question like this one, Burl Stotts asked, or stated, I just started at Camping World in Fife as an RV sales associate, wanted to know why so many people don't like Camping World. Let's see, 1,700 people have been reached, 68 comments. That was 4 hours ago. Check out some of the comments. By the way, these are ordinary people, real people like you and me, campers and RVers, and not one of these 68 comments here. Again, you got to be watching this on the video version of the show, but not one single comment is positive. If you don't see this as a really good opportunity to gain valuable information from actual RVers and campers, I don't know what to tell you. So check out our Facebook groups. Use it as one of your many resources before you make a final decision on who you buy from and what you end up buying. So there you go. Burl Stotts kind of stepped in it, didn't he? This is an example of how much knowledge there is. Your resources are there, and they're very active. These Facebook groups, there's a lot of them out there. If you'd like to find out about my Facebook groups, there's a page that you can go to called Camping in America. I'll put that on the bottom of the screen and in the description down below. Camping in America. From there, it's like a hub. You'll be able to link off to Florida and Tennessee and Washington and Texas, all over the place. You can join whatever Facebook group. But again, if you're on Facebook, type number 1, type the number 1. If you're not on Facebook, type the number 2. If you are a member of any RV camping Facebook groups like mine, any of them, type 3. If you're a member of any RV camping type Facebook groups. And I'd like to know what you think. Do you gain valuable information from those people? I certainly do. I don't know of a better resource that it's free, it's always changing, it's live, it's dynamic, it's not paid for, bought and paid for by some manufacturer who's trying to sell you something. These are real people, as I said in a little screen video, real people with their real experiences. Now, the downside is that these are not experts. They're just experts at living, all right? Many of these guys and gals say stuff that's just wacky. We need moderators. By the way, if you'd like to be a Facebook moderator, shoot us a note. We need good moderators. Most of the people in our groups are pretty good. They really are. But we get a few wing nuts out there that we've got to kind of get away from our virtual campfire. But do you know of a better way to get accurate information? I mean, quickly? Because if you have a problem, whether your levelers won't go down or your generator won't start, I don't care what the problem is, almost always within just a few minutes, someone on my Facebook groups at least will respond to you. Now, you've got to be responsible. Do you take their advice or not? But it will at least give you something else to think about. So we're going to put that information down below. If you think that you're not going to run into any a-holes, well, you're going to run into them everywhere you go. Facebook seems to have more of them than YouTube, and YouTube we've got plenty. So if you can't deal with that, don't get on Facebook. But if you can look beyond that, I believe that you can gain valuable information, and instead of mindlessly scrolling, like we kind of get hypnotized, right? How do we spend 30 minutes looking at nothing? If you're going to look at something that can benefit you, and that would be on Facebook. Go to some Facebook groups. I've got a lot of them, but there's tons and tons out there. If you're looking at a particular brand of RV, think about buying it. Most of the time, there are RV owners groups, and those are really good to check into because, again, those are honest people that will give you feedback that you will probably wish you would have had after you buy your RV. So I hope some of this makes good sense. I'd like to get a sense myself of how many people are on Facebook. Again, type 1 if you're on Facebook. Type 2 if you're not on Facebook. Type 3 if you're into Facebook RV camping groups. And you know what? If this has convinced you that maybe you ought to look into Facebook, type 4. Type 4. I hope that didn't confuse you too much. I kind of get confused a little bit myself. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I've got some stuff to talk about, I think, tomorrow that will be about the economy. What do I know about the economy? Besides, everything seems too dang expensive and we have an uncertain future. I'm going to give you my view on it, and I hope you'll stick around and find that video on tomorrow's video, if you will. All right, thanks so much for watching. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. Be safe, have fun, play nice, don't leave your good manners at home, and I hope to see you real soon on Facebook. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey, it's the RV Wingman, and if you're looking for an honest RV dealer, one that will work hard to earn and keep your business, I hope you'll check out the RV dealers I trust. I really do trust them. I think you can trust them as well. Go to rvdealersitrust.com. That's rvdealersitrust.com.